Avatar, the highest grossing movie of all time, packed to the brim with spectacular effects and true-to-life CG characters. How do we get here? Back in the day, when stop-motion pioneer Willis O'Brien brought King Kong to life, it was a laborious task to get a creature to move. The fully articulated puppets had to be moved in small increments and photographed for every single frame of film. In 1963, Harryhausen created his most famous stop-motion sequence, the skeleton battle, a scene which inspires filmmakers to this day. It took over 4 months to complete. Over 20 years later, the artists at Industrial Light and Magic, or ILM, would bring the first photoreal computer-generated character to the screen, the Stained Glass Knight. The 75-second screen time of the liquid water tentacle in the abyss took 6 months to finish. Part of those were spent using an early version of Photoshop, the first use of the program in a feature film.
It's wonderful.
It's me. The Abyss won an Academy Award for Best Visual Effects. Two years later, Kammer and ILM recycled and improved upon the water effects and used them for the liquid metal cyborg in Terminator 2. The visual effects were again honored by the Academy.
Go!
In 1993, Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park revolutionized computer graphics. It brought to the screen photoreal dinosaurs, complete with skeleton, textured skin, and detailed muscles. Spielberg had originally intended to use stop-motion, or rather go-motion dinosaurs, yet abandoned the idea when Industrial Light and Magic proved that they were up to the task. The team of go-motion animators used the so-called dinosaur input device, essentially an armature that was hooked up to a workstation, to convert their poses in real life into keyframes in the computer.
Being right all the time.
In order to get a feel for the movement of the giant creatures, the animators studied footage of appropriate animals and of themselves running around and jumping over obstacles. From that, they devised the various walk cycles and were now able to have them believably interact with the environment. The work done by the animators was honored by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Science in 1993.
Morning. Oh, no, please don't scream. I promise I won't hurt you.
In 1995, ILM created the first computer-animated title character in a film, Casper.
I'm gonna let you go now, okay?
You're so cold.
Yeah, but it saves in the heating, though.
All right, that's enough. Look, we're all very impressed with Andy's new toy.
Toy?
T-O-Y. Toy.
The first feature-length film made entirely by computer animation, and the first in a long history of box office hits for Pixar.
Getting kind of tense, aren't you?
Oh, Mr. Lightyear, now I'm curious. What does a space ranger actually do?
He's not a space ranger. He doesn't fight evil or shoot lasers or fly.
Excuse me.
So be it.
15 months of post-production were necessary to complete the effects for Dragonheart. The face of Draco the Dragon was modeled after Sean Connery, who also voiced the character.
Thank you, Bowen.
You saved my again.
What's this?
A local. Let's get out.
For the return of Star Wars, George Lucas envisioned an epic computer-generated fairy tale. For the artists at Industrial Light and Magic, however, it must have been more like a nightmare. They had to finish over 2,000 visual effects, including 60 digital characters, and, unfortunately, a CG humanoid named Jar Jar Binks, a widely derided aspect of the film. In 2001, Square Pictures created the first hyper-real, fully computer-generated feature film based on original designs. A milestone, and, due to low box office earnings, ultimately a financial disaster.
You're a liar and a thief.
No.
For their work on Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy, New Zealand-based Weta Digital was awarded the Oscar for Best Visual Effects for 3 consecutive years. Arguably the most impressive feat of Weta Digital is the creature Gollum.
It was me. We survived because of me.
In episode 2, Lucas improved upon the first installment. He got rid of Jar Jar and introduced an all-digital, all-badass Yoda to the fans. In the sequel to The Matrix, the artists at Escape used a process called universal capture, which in essence produced a 3D recording of the real actor's performance, which could then be played back from different angles and under different lighting conditions. Back in 1933, an 18-inch stop-motion puppet roamed the jungles of Skull Island. A good 70 years later, Peter Jackson's remake of the tragic Beauty and the Beast story featured a computer-generated Kong. After his work on Lord of the Rings, actor Andy Serkis again provided both on-set reference and motion capture performance for the title character. He had 132 sensors attached to his face, so that his every facial expression could be captured and shown on King Kong's face. King Kong was remarkable for having the largest number of visual effects shots in a single film, surpassing the previous record set by Star Wars Episode III. The more than 3,200 final shots in the film were culled from 3 million feet of live-action footage and include a hefty 2,500 visual effects shots. King Kong grossed an impressive $550 million worldwide and was awarded the Oscar for Best Visual Effects in 2005.
Bootstrap belt, you're a liar, and you will spend an eternity on this ship. Master Turner, feel free to go ashore. The better next time we make port.
The computer-generated Davy Jones in the second of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies was so well done that some critics mistakenly thought they were watching a live-action performance with an actor wearing prosthetic makeup.
What do you know of me? Demon.
I know.
Similar to the creature Gollum in Lord of the Rings, the artists at Sony Imageworks used an advanced motion capture technique to transform live action into digital animation. It included, among others, lifelike performances by Angelina Jolie and Anthony Hopkins.
What if I told you that I wasn't getting older, but I was getting younger than everybody else?
How old are you?
7, but I look a lot older.
God bless you.
The curious case of Benjamin Button is the story of a man who ages backwards. David Fincher wanted Brad Pitt to play that man, but not for the first 50 minutes of film.
I'm not as old as I look.
I thought so. You don't seem like an old person. Like my grandma.
I'm not.
Are you sick?
Well, I heard Mama and Tizzy whisper and they said I was gonna die soon, but maybe not.
The face of Brad Pitt was scanned and digitally aged. With the help of Mova's contour technology, his facial movement was analyzed and transferred to the digital head. Now he was essentially able to puppet his older digital self when performing all the little details in front of several cameras on a separate stage. The Curious Case of Benjamin Button won the Oscar for Best Visual Effects.
There were many changes. Some you could see, some you couldn't. Hair had started growing in all sorts of places, along with other things. I felt pretty good, considering.
I'm trying to understand this deep connection that people have to the forest. She talks about a network of energy that flows through all living things. She says all energy is only borrowed, and one day you have to give it back.
Avatar is not only a film of unparalleled success, but also one of extraordinary craftsmanship. Its achievements and awards in the world of cinema are numerous, and it would be futile and boring to list them here. So, just sit back and enjoy the ride.
With you. With you.
I trusted you.
Trust me now, please.
Kaya you not be your kape. You will never be one of the people.
Try to stop.
Terry, please, please.
Mighty. If you are one of us, help us.